Sandwiched in between the Yuan and Qing dynasties and lasting for nearly 300 years, the Ming dynasty is noted as one of the most tumultuous and important periods in Chinese history. Throughout this dynasty, three major veins of philosophical thought circulated within Ming culture, including Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism. Up until and throughout the Ming dynasty, Confucianism held the spot as the predominant orthodox doctrine. However, through the years, an evolution of thought and infusion of acceptance were slowly taking place. Particularly, the reformation of two distinct sects of Buddhism were apparent, pureland and Chan Buddhism. Present observation of these branches of Buddhism undoubtedly gained shape and significance from events, figures, and intertwining ideas during the Great Ming Dynasty. When considering a unique cultural period such as the Ming Dynasty, it is important to consider its beginning. The fall of one of the shortest Chinese dynasties, the Mongol-led Yuan dynasty, created a turbulent philosophical climate that set the ideological stage for the Ming dynasty. Many historians believe that the Mongols' discrimination of the Han Chinese during the Yuan period is the key contributing factor to the major Han Revolution. The discriminatory acts of the Mongols created bitterness, famine, and many struggles amongst the Han people. During this revolutionary period, a group led by Zhu Yongzhang, with the support of an ancient secret intellectual fraternity known as the Summer Palace People, established dominance over the Mongols. This revolution culminated in the establishment of the Ming dynasty in the city of Nanjing in 1368. Like most dynasties or empires, the Ming dynasty would be greatly shaped by the established and emerging religions and philosophies of the time. Throughout the Ming dynasty's duration, Neo-Confucianism would remain the frontrunner of Chinese philosophy and religion. Neo-Confucianism, like Buddhism, blossomed into several branches over time. These branches derived unique qualities from several important Confucius figures and their schools. The most important figures that shaped Confucianism for the Ming dynasty were Shuzi and Wang Yangmin. The Neo-Confucianism of Shuzi was also known as the school principle. Shuzi believed that all things were brought into existence by the universal elements Li and Qi. Li is that which gives all thing form and essence. It is the universal principle. And Qi is the vital force. These two elements combine to create Tash, which means the great ultimate. Some scholars maintain that Li and Qi are related to the Buddhist ideas Li and Shi, which mean principle and affairs. Nearly all educated Chinese at the time of the Ming dynasty were educated in Neo-Confucianism of Shuzi. He also taught followers to eliminate selfish desires that could cloud the mind's understanding of goodness by practicing a type of meditation often called tranquil repose. This particular branch of Confucianism had much in common with Chan Buddhism, which was also being practiced during the same period in the Ming dynasty. Most of the Ming emperors were devout Buddhists and promoted Buddhism throughout China. One of the most influential emperors was the Hongwu Emperor, who was a Buddhist monk early on in his life. Upon becoming an emperor, he began advocating and promoting the native Chinese Buddhist schools. In addition, he advocated a purification of Yuan-Mongol influence within these Buddhist schools, as the Mongols of the previous Yuan dynasty had promoted the esoteric Tibetan Lamist Buddhism over all other forms of Buddhism. Perhaps the most marked movement of Buddhism in the Ming dynasty was the fusion of Buddhist thought and Neo-Confucius ethics. Pureland Buddhism is a branch of Mahayana Buddhism. Pureland is unique in that it is faith-based. Faith is placed in the Amitabha Buddha. According to the Pureland teachings of the Amitabha Buddha, who watches over the Pureland, there is no suffering in the Pureland, no defilement and delusions, nor is there sickness or old age or death. It is believed that one is reborn into the Pureland, and they are done so by a lotus flower, not the earthly birth from a woman's womb. Beautiful clothing and fine wine are available to all who enter the Pureland. There are no uncomfortable or extreme temperatures. Huge trees are made of various gems covered with fruits and flowers. Enchanting scents are created by large lotus flowers speckled everywhere. There are pools made of 7 jewels filled with only the purest of water, which adjusts itself to the depth and temperature of the bathers. The Purelanders' feet walk upon a golden ground. Beautiful flowers rain from the sky day and night. It is only in the Pureland that believers can obtain full enlightenment. To reach their final destination, followers must invoke the Buddha's name through vows, visualizations, and chants. By making a vow to obtain a rebirth into the Pure Land, believers fundamentally change the direction of their lives. Once this vow is taken, the importance of earthly things such as social roles, brute survival, and the struggle to obtain satisfaction are greatly diminished as the importance of life shifts to the awareness of the Buddha. Recitation by chanting Buddha's name, when done in single-minded consciousness, is enough to dissolve away all bad karma, no matter how grave. According to Pure Land teachings, focusing the mind completely on Buddha allows for the interpretation of onward flow of karmic consciousness. A key facet of Pure Land is that it is for all classes of people, regardless of past transgressions or personal flaws. All are guaranteed rebirth into the Pure Land as long as they are able to invoke the Buddha's name with single-minded consciousness and sincere faith. Many feel that this is the reason for the vast popularity during Ming Dynasty. During the Ming Dynasty, Pure Land was the most popular form of Buddhism in China, while Chan Buddhism assumed the role of the intellectually preeminent branch. Pure Land teachers at the time granted that Chan might indeed be the most direct vehicle, but insisted that for most people it was far too rigorous and demanding to be practical. The Pure Land method of Buddha name resuscitation was simpler by method in which average people could make progress towards enlightenment. The Pure Land teachers often pointed out that those who disapproved of Pure Land methods, seeing them as far too basic, while following the teachings of Chan schools, actually achieved nothing. With Chan, 9 out of 10 fail. With Pure Land, tens of thousands succeed. Much like the Pure Land Buddha name resuscitation practices, Chan Buddhists use koans. These short sayings, used in practice by Chan Buddhists, which are resuscitated or chanted, are used to focus meditation and give their user insight into greater levels of meaning. They are often phrased in a question-answer format or dialogue. The Ming Dynasty will forever be regarded as a time of the emergence and mixing of many East Asian traditions. The practice of Neo-Confucianism, Pure Land, and Chan Buddhism have always been and remain still today as unique, distinctive philosophical schools of thought. However, elements of each have been injected into one another through figures and events of a common area, the Ming Dynasty. On the surface, these three philosophies may seem mutually exclusive, but in practice, they are anything but.